welcome to O2 Inside Line here from Twickenham Stoop. It's a battle of the world rugby heavyweights, first v third, England versus Canada, and it's going to be a good one. We are literally just across the road from where Australia and England met only yesterday, England putting them to bed 32-15, and we're expecting big things today to continue the tradition of winning. And to preview this exciting encounter, I am joined by Red Roses winger Jess Breach and former England international and captain Dylan Hartley. Oh yeah, and I should introduce myself as Lauren Smith as well. Guys, how are you both doing?
Yeah, good. I'm really excited to watch this game and preview. I think should be a good fight, especially after England putting to bed New Zealand twice.
Excited. I just saw a spot of rain, so hoping...
Don't say rain.
No. This is Twickenham Stoop weather. This is what we want. This is English rugby. We hope for a little bit of rain. But no, following on from Exeter, the crowd there, Northampton, great crowd. The Stoop today, no doubt we'll have this place rocking. It's good to see people back.
And Jess, how are you doing? It's such a shame not to see you out on the field today, but how is the injury?
Yeah, it's good. It's a slow process, but hopefully I'll be back soon. In a quarters jersey, I think won't make for the USA game next week. So yeah, it's going to be a long process, but hopefully I'll be back soon.
No doubt, and we can't wait to see it. I mean, Dylan, you're basically one of the biggest fans of the Red Roses. You followed them throughout this entire campaign. So is this the best Red Roses we've seen in a long time? What are you making of Simon Widdowson's team so far?
Well, it's a different Red Roses to what we saw last week that beat the Black Ferns, but that team was different to the one that played in Exeter. So I think the depth that he's got, being able to change players in and out, 7 changes today, a couple of new caps, I think he's blessed with that sort of depth, I suppose. But we talked about this off camera before. The challenge of this team, now that they bear that #1 tag, they're beating the brand of the Black Ferns, they're beating them 2 weeks in a row, backed it up. How do they perform against a very physical Canadian team, ranked 3rd in the world? And guess what? When you're #1, everyone's coming for you. You've got a target on your back, and everyone raises their game by 10, 20%. So can they weather that storm early from this Canadian team and pull away?
Well, we look forward to finding out. A little bit earlier, though, we managed to get the reaction from in the middle of the camp. Lagi Tuima talked to us. Check this out. Lagi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I've got to ask, how's the mood in camp? I mean, what a whirlwind couple of weeks.
Oh, I think for a lot of us, the mood seems to be pretty settled. Big occasion for a lot of girls, with Heather and Sadia, and likewise with Poppy and Wardy. So yeah, feeling good. And for me, from a personal level, coming back to the Stoop in front of like a home crowd, you can't get any better than that.
So that leads me on to my question.
Awesome.
I was just going to say, how does it feel to come back to the Stoop? Obviously with a different jersey on, obviously that white jersey instead of the quarters. How does it feel? Is it emotional, special?
Yeah, I think for many reasons this is home for a lot of us as Quins players, but to come here at home in the white jersey in front of our crowd, it's always special. Good memories here, so hope to make another one today with the girls.
Lagi, I've got a question for you. We're used to seeing you in a 12 shirt for club and country. Little birdie tells me you might be more comfortable at 13. And from what we saw over the road yesterday with England's men's backs, people playing out of position all over the field, how does your role change today?
It doesn't change for me so much. I think for me, I'm very much trying to put the back 3 into space, be evasive and elusive in my role as well. Try to cause some chaos for the opponents, but for me it's just very much working on everything on the front foot.
Brilliant. Well, good luck. One other thing, I love it when you get the ball and you just run straight. You just said you're going to be evasive and all that sort of stuff. I just love it when you're really direct.
I'll do that too, don't you worry.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you can see that the atmosphere is already building here at the Stoop as the crowd begin to arrive. How much does that help the players, especially when you compare it to last year and nothing? How much does it drive you?
Oh, it's just another way to get us going as well when you're on the 60th minute and you're hanging out. I'm sure, Jess, we can relate to that as well, but it gets you going as well. It's almost having like 16 players on the pitch, so can't complain.
So we need as much noise as possible.
Absolutely.
Like, huge good luck today. We'll let you get back off to practice and get ready for the
Thank
game.
you very much. Cheers for having me, guys.
See you later. Stop smiling. Game face. Go.
Lagi Tuima there. She always has such a big smile on her face. As Dylan mentioned earlier, there are a number of changes to this Red Roses team compared to what we've seen over the last 2 matches against the Black Ferns. Let's take a little look at that team sheet. 7 changes in total. And Jess, 2 debutants. So can you tell us a little bit about them? Because we've not seen a whole lot of them.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see both of them play. Sadia has been great in the Allianz Premier 15s League this season. She's a great poacher of the ball, a classic 7, gets over that ball really quickly, chop tackles. So I'm really excited to see her in the forward pack. And then obviously Heather Cow, a very special friend of mine, a fellow Quins winger, obviously playing here at the Stoop, I think will be like a really memorable moment for her. And I just can't wait to see her with ball in hand and beat people on the edge and, maybe hopefully get over that try line.
How are you feeling, though, as her friend watching her debut?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so happy for her. She's worked so hard this season to finally get that reward and get that white shirt on. I'm just, really pleased for her, and I can't wait to see her get onto the pitch.
And a few celebrations after, we hope.
Defo.
Yeah. Dylan, we also see a number of 50th caps. It's obviously a huge achievement in Abby Ward and Poppy Cleal. Do you remember yours?
I do, yeah, but I'm actually interested to see who's going to lead the team out today. Both big enforcers for the team, so big personalities as well. But massive tip of the cap to them. Huge testament to their character. This game that we play is kind of an attritional game, so physically for them to be here on the international stage with 50 games under their belts, it's aspirational for the young whippersnappers to see.
Young whippersnappers. And of course, just having that experience to rely on when you are trying out new combinations, that's important as well.
Oh, 100%. We saw it with the men's team yesterday. Loads of talk around young Marcus Smith, but what made his job far easier was all the experience around him. And I was saying to Jess before, certainly Abby Ward and Poppy Cleal in that team, they bring so much sort of grunt and experience up front there. Everyone else around them makes their job so much easier. So, yeah, whilst we've got a couple of new caps, they're slotting into 13 other kind of drilled combinations and experience in that team, so they'll be just fine.
And speaking of Poppy Cleal, she's actually gone and customised her boots for today, so keep your eye out on BBC Two to see if you can see what she's got on them. It's a really nice touch. Wow, the stadium's really getting going, isn't it? Canada, though, it's a very different proposition, isn't it, Jess? Actually, I seem to remember you making your debut against Canada. How many tries did you score?
Just 6.
What kind of team are they? Just 6?
Sorry, just 6. That's more than I scored in my whole international career and club career combined. That's ridiculous.
That's
probably why you're so confident today about this game, right?
Yeah, no,
I understand now. I understand.
I think Canada will be definitely a force to reckon with. They've played 2 games against USA. Got 2 wins against them, so I think they'll definitely be coming into this game on a massive high. They're a physical team. They've got some good, edge players as well. Paige Farries is definitely a good winger, so I think Abby and her will definitely have a fight on that edge. But yeah, they're a physical team, and it'll be a different game to New Zealand. But hopefully, like we can say, we can get that W and go from 17 wins on the bounce.
And a number of their players are part of the Premier 15s in the UK. Their entire front row play for Exeter. Just that kind of familiarity with your opposition, how does that help you gauge on how to approach it, or how will it help the girls gauge how to approach this?
I think it will give the girls that confidence. They've probably already played them in the Prem this season, and especially in the scrums, they will know if they're able to win up, do something in the scrum to win up. I don't know what they'll be able to do, but they might be.
Sorry, did you say scrums? Step aside.
Yeah. Dylan, you're in.
No, carry on. Sorry.
No, they might be able to know what they can do to beat them up front, which I think will be key to that physical battle, because they are a physical side.
I think the one thing of concern for me is they've had 2 fantastic results against the Black Ferns, and you obviously want to ride that high and that momentum, but they need to start really well. They need to just do the basics brilliantly. The foundations of their game, that's what they need to focus on. They can't start thinking about winning the game and the result and scoring loads of tries early on. They just need to go out and do the basics really well and grow into this game. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for them.
It's a really interesting conundrum, isn't it? Because when you do have that huge amount of momentum and you're on a roll and you kind of go into games kind of knowing you're a little bit of the best, like, how did you keep your feet on the ground when that was
I was never the best, so I was always really, really scared.
Not you individually, we're talking about.
No, but there's just, Canada, I don't know if they're going to be up for this game or burnt out, because they've been out on the field probably about 40 minutes now with individual prep, warm-ups and team warm-ups, whereas the Red Roses have only kind of come out in the last 20 minutes. So I'm hoping that's a good sign that our girls just been inside having a cup of tea, simmering, just mentally preparing, and they're going to be ready to roll. But no, it's going to be an interesting game early on, very physical, I believe. But Jess off camera was saying it's going to be maybe it's a 6 tries thing, but she's confident in her girls. No, but it's her team, it's her team. She's confident in the girls that they can pull away, and they've got the right mindset to do it.
given the Black Ferns hadn't played a lot of rugby and they came into 2 tests against the Red Roses, and obviously it didn't go so well for them, do you think Canada is the first kind of big test that the girls have had this autumn series?
I think they've already played rugby together as a team, so I think that will definitely help them. And like you said, a lot of their players have played in the Allianz Premier 15s already this season, so I think they've got a lot of rugby under their belt, and they've been able to have that continuity and that cohesion in the team aspect. So I think, yeah, it'll be a different game for the Roses, but I do think that we'll have that better hand in the end.
So we're all the girls are beginning to go through their warm-ups, they're kind of coming together. When you are just about to go into a big fixture, it's an international, the crowds are coming in. What's being said in the huddles, and how are you preparing for what comes next?
I think maybe it's different to the boys, but just focus on that first job. Like if we're receiving or kicking, it's who's going to get that catch, who's going to make that first tackle. Just do the simple things right in the first 5 minutes, and then we'll go on from there.
Sounds good.
No, I agree. It's the next job in front of you, not worrying about the 80th minute. And the result is worrying about the next minute in front of you. So I was just going to say, they've got the big tournament about a year away. All England can do today is improve on what they did last week. And we talk about the Black Ferns being a bit off the pace. A year is a very long time in rugby. In the men's game, the Irish team have peaked many a time for a World Cup and then fallen over. So, New Zealand now know where they're at, what the best in the world looks like. And I think the mindset of this Red Roses team is they can only do what's in front of them today, play what's in front of them and keep improving. Because in a year's time, the Black Ferns are going to be chomping at the bit on home soil. So improve today, get a good win and enjoy that.
Sounds like a very good way to kick things off. Guys, make sure you tune in and watch the match. It's on BBC Two and see if our Red Roses can beat Canada. But if you want to know a little bit about what's going on inside the camp, then you've got to check out England Rugby socials. Here's a little taste of what to expect.